What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to finally jump in and do the sending unit, the fuel sending unit for the S2000. So if you know, I have issues with my fuel. The gauge on the cluster always reads empty when I fill up the tank, and I've been having issues where I have to fill up the tank when it hits 200 miles on the trip, or else I would just get stranded. I ended up getting stranded twice, and now I just figured I gotta fix it. It was an issue that people didn't really like when they were looking at my car to buy it, but I'm gonna fix it now because I might be keeping this car to daily drive. Figured why not, you know what I mean? I've already replaced the EPS module. That's gonna correct the electronic power steering situation. So sometimes it would flash on and then the steering wheel gets stiff, and when it goes away it's fine. I figured I just buy a different unit and just put it in there. So I haven't driven the car since because I want to do the fuel sending unit and then go for a test drive. But today we're going to do the fuel sending unit, and it's going to require a couple things. One thing that we have to worry about is going to the back, and right there in the middle, that's where the fuel sending unit is. But you can't technically get to it through here. So we actually have to get inside of the car. I'm going to take the driver's seat out because it's just going to be easier to work inside of there. After that, I got to bend over the back of this section and pull the plastic underneath where the soft top itself sits, and we should be able to put our hand in there and access the screws, and that should be it for removal. Another thing that I'm really worried about is the actual fuel. I'm going to disconnect the fuel pump to the back if there is a wire harness for it, and then I'm going to try to crank the car to drain out as much of the gasoline that I can in the line. That way it's not so pressurized. Then I'm going to go ahead and proceed to remove it. Hopefully not a lot of gas spillage is going to happen. Also need to prop my garage door a little open when this happens because I don't want to breathe in all the fumes. I have my AC in the back booming right now, so hopefully it keeps the garage a little cooler, and we're gonna get started on that real soon. But I just want to do a quick walkthrough of what we're going to be doing, so hopefully this all works out very well and this corrects the issue, and then we can find out exactly what's causing the problem with the factory OEM sending unit. Alright, so now that the seat is out, I can actually sit inside the car and I can actually work on this plastic trim. I can't drop the top because if I drop the top I can't reach it, right? So the best thing to do here at this point is just work around this loophole, you know, the frame and all that stuff, and try to get to it. There is a piece of glass in the middle right here, and we're going to drop that, and hopefully I can work through these holes and get this plastic piece out. Alright, so the plastic can't go out. I think the only way is taking the spare tire out, so I'm going to take the spare tire out. So you can see back there, if I can remove the spare tire, I can actually take the plastic piece right here and kind of turn it out sideways and get it out from the back. So essentially, removing this spare tire should give me enough space to take the plastic off so it won't be in the way. Let's take that out. Then this should be able to slide out, I think. Yeah, there we go. So just taking a look, I can pretty much reach this from the back here now. It just looks like a few screws. There you go. So essentially now, if I start the car, I should be able to run this dry, but let's see how this goes. Alright, so I ran the car just now, and it ran for a little bit and then it shut off, so that's good. That means there's no fuel in the line, or little. So now we're gonna go ahead and just take these off. Looking from the top down here, there we go. I gotta remove this and I gotta remove this, and then I gotta undo the screws around it, and I should be able to take it out. I have a rag readily available to catch anything. I'm gonna do this off camera, so I just want to make sure I do it safely. I'm gonna put some gloves on and hopefully this goes well. I hate messing with gasoline, but the risk that you take. So let's get this done. Alright, finally got the damn thing out. Kind of scary. Here's the old one. Trying to see what happened to it. See the new one right here? If you look at the silver or the gray, right? Look how there's no resistance. There's no marking or nothing. If you look at this one, it is completely messed up. You see that dark line on that arch? It's like a dark arch going that way, and that one barely has it, to be honest with you. So I don't know what really went wrong. That could have been it, but just gonna go ahead and replace it with this one. Hopefully this solves everything. It doesn't look like he took it apart, so should be good to go. I'm just gonna plug and play, and then hopefully everything works out well. Man, it is something else to be standing in this car in the most awkward position to go ahead and do all of that. My leg started being very spastic. It started shaking like crazy because it was such an awkward angle that my nerves and my muscles didn't know what to do. So it's all in there, everything's bolted back up. I'm gonna go ahead and put the key in. Putting the key in a couple times, cycle it a couple times because I did dry out the fuel. So all right, one more time. Okay, let's start it, see how it goes. So everything now is kind of bolted up. I left some of the panels open to let any of the gasoline that might have dripped off pretty much evaporate into the air. I'm gonna crack the garage just a little bit just to let all those fumes out. But I just want to leave it alone for a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and test drive this probably tomorrow because I don't want to mess with it right now. It's about to rain. But I won't know if the EPS sensor and if the fuel sending unit is fixed unless I drive it. I cycled the key a couple times. I started the car. It's showing that it's full tank. It doesn't make sense because I've driven 140 miles since my last fill up, and that should leave it around 3/4 of a tank used. So I should have about 1/4 of a tank or 1/3 of a tank left. So I'm not sure if this sending unit was faulty as well, or it might be another issue altogether. If anyone has S2000 that had the same issue with this problem with the fuel not reading correctly, please leave a comment below what you did. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right, overlooking everything. Just my first guess was a sending unit. Usually that's the case. So hopefully that fixed the issue, but if not, then we're gonna have some more problems, and I hope this solves it completely. So alright guys, so the next thing I want to do is actually clean the Recaros I picked up the other day. They look pretty good on camera, but they have some imperfections. I'm trying to use the Griot's interior cleaner that I've been using on all my cars, and I have a brush that I bought at Target. It's very soft. It's for cleaning shoes, but it's so soft it should be good for using on seats, especially the fabric like this. I tried a little bit right here already, that's why it's kind of dark. It kind of absorbs into it a lot because of the foam, so I'm gonna try my best to use a microfiber after scrubbing it and absorb as much of this off if I can. So just gonna do a quick pan to see if there's any difference in color and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna set you on tripod and we're just gonna scrub it up real nice, and hopefully this turns out looking a lot better than it is now. So the cleaner itself, it really works. It's not as strong, it's not as like delicate, but it's taking off some and most of the stains that I had. I had a little black dot right there. I just shot a little bit right at that spot and brushed in really hard and it all came out. So of course this side's a little damp. It looks a lot more refreshed than this faded side. I'm hoping once it all dries it's gonna look really nice. Still gonna start working on certain areas twice, like this area might need to be hit twice because those are areas that you rub on when you sit in the car. Even here, see how nasty and discolored that is, and this side is looking a lot nicer and brighter again. This fabric is somewhat delicate. You don't want to use a shoe brush or something hard on it. Well, this is a shoe brush, but it's made out of like, what is that, horsehair? So it's really soft, so it doesn't damage this at all. So work slow, small areas at a time, don't oversaturate it. After one side of microfiber, you get a brand new one for the other side, and same with the middle, and you should be good to go. I'm thinking about taking out my polisher and polishing this real quick, but since it's gonna go in the S2000, I guess I'll just save it for another day or another video. This could be buffed out. It just has to be treated with wax or something after, so it doesn't oxidize again or whatever it may be. But since it's gonna go in the inside of the car, you're not gonna really see it. So next thing we gotta do is put the seat rails on, but once I put the seat rails on, I'm gonna put it in the car and we'll see how this thing looks. As you can see, I'm really excited. I really miss the bucket feel driving this S2000. To me, bucket seats are the best things you can buy for the car. It just feels so much better than OEM. Alright guys, just got the seat in. Definitely a lot more orangey than the rest of the red in the car, but it's fine. I had to do some adjustment to the rails. I had to add spacers on both sides so that the rails fit into the OEM spot. But now it looks good. Feels way more comfortable than the OEM seats. So that's gonna end today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Got a lot done, to be honest with you, and hopefully I can test drive the car tomorrow when it's a better day out and tell you guys if everything worked or not. Be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment about how you feel about the new seat, and also subscribe if you're a new time viewer. Things are moving fast and I just have to go with it. So hopefully I keep the car, hopefully things go well, and see more S2000 videos as well. So until then, I'll see you on the next video.